Alright, so what I'm going to show you guys today is how to draw a traditional style rose. I'm going to keep it very simple, very beginner friendly. I am going to start off by sketching, and I use the sketching technical pencil. Right now I'm using Procreate. You can follow along with pencil, pen, watercolor, whatever you guys like to do. I am going to my sketching layer, starting off with a very simple circle. Doesn't have to be perfect, and I'm going to do a little swoop S type of a shape. And you always want to make sure, you don't have to, but let it meet in the middle. I'm going to fill the middle with half circles. That's pretty self-explanatory. And what I like to call this is just a squiggly line to make, I don't even know what it's called. It's just one of the petals on the rose. And the next thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and draw a circle along the outside there of the middle of the rose. And what I'm doing is I'm actually breaking this up into fifths, within that outside circle with straight lines. And this is just, again, very simple way to draw this rose. Traditional style, very traditional, very classic, very simple. And what I'm doing here to start the outside of the petals on the outside here, it is just the middle point between each of the fifths, and you'll see what I mean here as I'm drawing it. And I believe it's a spade shape is what that is technically called, what I'm using for the outside petals. It's just a look that I like to give my traditional roses. As of right now, I will probably make a video in the future of how to draw different, types of traditional roses, the different variances, because there are many, or different variants would be the correct word. And right now I'm just adding just tiny little leaves, underneath on the outside of the rose again. It is just a very classic, very traditional way of drawing this design, and it's timeless and I love it. So right here, we have the sketch. It's all finished up, simple enough. It took literally a couple minutes, and I'm going to now for the lining, go to calligraphy. I like monoline best. Obviously I'm doing black. I'm going to the lines layer, just making sure right now that I like the thickness, and I think I do. So I like to work front to back with my designs, whether it be traditional, neo-traditional, does not matter what it is. So I'm starting off with, again, I'm calling it the squiggly line. The squiggly line petal. That's what I'm going to call the squiggly line petal. And it connects in the middle there. You see, really you're just following your sketch at this point with a bold outline. And what I'm doing with the inside bulb here, I'm first curving it in towards the middle of the rose, and then I'm finishing it off, with just a normal circular shape to finish off. Again, I don't even know if it's called the bulb, but I've called it the bulb so many times during this video, so I'm going to stick with it, the bulb. And I'm tracing the semicircles. Again, I'm going to be repeating myself probably a lot throughout the tracing here, just because that's literally all that I'm doing is tracing what I had sketched. And again, as you can see, this design is so simple. It is so easy. I really believe that, anybody can do this, beginner, advanced. It really does not matter who you are. It's a fun design. It's not only easy, but it's just a very fun design to draw. And I am basically now finished with the petals. Going to do very quickly the leaves. And right now I'm using the same line weight for all of the outline. I am going to change it up here in just a second and go for a smaller line weight. Traditional you can use, the classic, it's normally one line weight. Sometimes I'll use two. I think once you pass the two line weights, you're kind of going into the neo-traditional territory. So what I'm doing there is just creating a straight squiggly line through the outside, what are they called? The outside leaves. And I'm kind of curving from the outside in, again, just to give it a little bit more of a natural look. And you can see I like to make them slightly uneven one side to the other, again, just to give it more of a natural look. I'm just going to continue doing the same until I'm done with the outside leaves. Yet again, very simple, very simple. Very easy way to draw a traditional rose. And at this point, I am completely done with the outline. Took just a few minutes, super easy. Going for the selection tool, make sure you're on automatic and make sure that your selection threshold is really up in like 99. That's where I like to keep it, just so I don't have those weird white outlines, between the black outline I already did and what I'm wanting to draw for color and shading, and I'm just making these circular. It kind of mimics the spit shade look that you get when you use watercolor on paper. So I start with the black, and I'm just going to continue going through the rest of the design, putting the black where I see fit, where I want it. Something with traditional designs that I have noticed and that I think helps it look very professional, very well put together, very clean, is making sure that you don't have your black touching another section of black. I think it makes the highlights pop more, makes the color pop more, and it makes the design more cohesive. And I guess the blacks don't clash, isn't quite the right word. They don't mix and blend together where they shouldn't be mixing and blending together. Again, I'm just finishing off the black shading here. And I don't believe I had mentioned, but I am using the it's the airbrushing brush, and I like to use the soft brush, which is the first option. I'm going to be using that for both the shading and the color. And at this point, I am moving on to color. I'm going to my color layer. Again, there it is, airbrush, soft brush. And what I do, this is what I like to do personally, is fill it all the way in, go to my eraser tool, and I go to the calligraphy, and I believe I'm using script here. And I just like to, you can see what I'm doing here, is just running along the edges and just erasing as I go. Some of them I'll connect all the way to the bottom to where it meets the middle of the row. Some of them I won't. Again, it's another thing, just personal preference. And I'm just going to keep going here until I am all the way done with my erasing. And yeah, it's as simple as that. Again, it's just what I like to do when I'm doing the outside for the hard line for a big area. If it's a smaller area, I'll color it in, as if I'm using a marker or watercolor. And for this middle bulb here, I'm going to kind of give it a spit shade-esque type of a look. Again, that's the airbrushing soft brush, and making sure I use my selection tool to, get it very easily, very cleanly in there. Going full bold with the yellow. I'm going to go full bold with the red in the back there on the inside of the rose. And for this, I'm going to do sort of a teal color. I know that, the inside of roses obviously aren't teal, but I think it gives it a nice pop in some designs. Again, it doesn't work for every single rose, but I like the pop that it gives this design here. And I'm giving it the same effect that I did the outside petals, except I'm coloring in, it's a small area. It's easy to do. And to finish it off, I am going to go ahead and color the leaves green. Again, just the traditional color palette is what I'm using. Nothing too crazy. I think I might be breaking the rules a little bit with that teal, the pop of teal, but it's what I want to do. Rules can be broken, and that's totally okay. And this is essentially it. That's how you draw a traditional style rose. If this was helpful, go ahead, leave a like, a thumbs up, subscribe for more content coming in the future, and y'all have an amazing rest of your day.